Alright, let's get these guys into the lobby here. So we've got OSM and Fairy Peak teaming up. They're going to try and put their pretty high level hoop skills to good use against Nico and his buddy Archiantis, who he considers to be top 3 hoops players alongside Nico and Wolf. But yeah, Wolf and Nico, we've seen them on stream in the past, dominating Torment and Lethemir. Yeah, Archiantis is down here 14. So Nico considers him to be definitely his next teammate that he would go to. Fairy, OSM, Nico, Arch. We're gonna make a little name combination down here while we get this one started. But we've got to get right into the match here or we need to pay attention right from the very start because these guys have probably got some kickoff strats. Let's see what Archiantis and Nico get up to in the first one. They are going to try a bump one, and Nico's already in for it. How on earth do they pull this off every time? I don't know. But Fairy Peak and OSM get away without conceding initially. Now, if you guys have tried this yourselves, you'll know how difficult it is to get that right, to get the bump kickoff to function properly. That's a great save by Nico. The shot from OSM was almost perfect. He's in this new car. I actually forgot the name. Knight Rider. The Knight Rider, that's the name of it, isn't it? So let's see what he can do in that. Archiantis and Nico will be hoping to pick up a couple of kickoff goals, I'm sure. Just because they are so cool to see, but also because that's probably the aspect of this game where they're going to be, or where they're going to have the biggest advantage over their opponents. A great save by Archiantis. They're navigating their way around that rim as well as they can. Passing play, Archiantis to Nico, back to Arch, who's committed heavily into the corner, but with hoops being so hard to counter-attack on, you can do this. And that's the first goal for the hoops mains. Nico and Archiantis are looking good. They know that they can press the issue all the way into the opposition half. Because it's so hard to counter-attack in hoops. Super Wilson 45, thanks for 3-month Prime. We got Prime from Jalton RL, welcome. No kickoff shenanigans here. Wobbler, thanks for 26 months Prime. Hey, no problem. Thanks for the 3-month Super Wilson. We got Kosai with 258 bits. I'll try not to turn off Brian. I mean, I don't like to turn him off, but sometimes I have to if he's like shouting too loud. Archiantis is really popping off here. Some great plays. He had the pass for the first goal, and now he's just got the straight up goal for number 2. Good read on the corner wall. Good speed. OSM says it's laggy at 150. He will be having a pretty difficult time here because Fairy Peak and or what do you call it? Fairy Peak and everybody else on the normal European to US East connection will be probably around about 100 ping. That's a decent amount. Whereas OSM is in Iceland at the moment, and although Iceland is closer to US East than Europe, their internet just isn't very good, or it doesn't have a very direct connection to the USA, so he's got really difficult ping right now for himself. It's going to be exceptionally hard to read what Archiantis and Nico are doing. They look super comfortable early on here. I actually forgot that I thought Nico was a West Coast player. Is he not? How does he have 48 ping? I'm sure that Nico is West, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's in fact East Coast. Fairy Peak locking things down in defense. It's a good clear as well. Doesn't have too much boost to work with, but into offense he goes. It's going to come short after running into the net here. Ah, he moved. Okay, thank you for keeping me up to date there, you Hoops community. So Nico's moved into East Coast area, or at least closer to East Coast, because 48 ping is definitely a very good connection. You're never going to get that from a West Coast area. And Archiantis putting in a third goal. This is really starting to get out of control here. I'll tell OSM and Fairy, I'll tell everybody after this match that we can switch server halfway through if they want to. I was under the impression that Nico was West Coast and that this was going to be, you know, the best lobby or the best connection that we'll get for everybody all together, because Fairy and Nico would probably have roughly the same ping, but actually Nico's moved, so they've bamboozled me. I'm Kirby, thanks for 12 months Prime. We're going to maybe get another bump kickoff. No, they decide not to. Oh, they do go for it actually. Look how fast Nico gets to the ball after getting bumped forward by Archiantis. The consistency that they can pull this off with is just outrageous. You need to go and try this yourselves if you haven't already. Oh my goodness, Archianus is a monster! He's just scored a pinch goal in hoops. Right next to the net. He knows exactly what to do. Just pitches it straight in, and apparently that's a goal. So some more hoop strats coming in from Archianus. Are they going to get the bump to work again 3 times in a row? You bet they are. Nico to the back wall. Archianus with the rebound. That's the strat. Got to backboard it and look for the rebound immediately. And it's so difficult to defend. I mean, FairJame and OSM, they can't get to the ball fast enough to deal with this. It's absolutely crazy synergy from Archianus and Nico. And yes, like I keep saying, go and try this yourselves and you'll have a whole newfound respect, or level of respect, for the hoops mains who can pull this off every single time. Really, really cool to see. 4-1. Difficult position for FairJame and OSM. That's a great save by OSM. FairJame is going to be able to follow up on it. I've actually been surprised by how well Nico and Archianus have dealt with FairJame and OSM in the midfield. I expected FairJame and OSM's superior mechanics, and I will say superior mechanics because, of course, they are just so insane in regular Rocket League. I thought that would come into play more, but Nico and Archianus are just dominating them. They know exactly what to do in almost any hoop situation. FairJame was going to probably get a save there, but Nico denies that one as well. Snosbury, thanks for tier 2 sub. Thanks for 28 months of lurking. I really appreciate that. Welcome back to the stream. Game 1 not going well for OSM and FairJame here. Similar to how Torment and Lethamyr did in their first match against the Hoops boys. They just got crushed. And then Game 2 they didn't get crushed as badly. In Game 3 they kept it kind of close. They did get swept. Yes, maybe they can figure out how to handle them as we progress here. Kickoffs though, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about that. This is one of the better ones, so they've got that under control. Hang on a second, FairJame setting up OSM. Archianus is going to close the door on that near post opportunity. FairJame with a fake challenge. Backs up Archianus, but it's now Nico coming in for an easy shot, and OSM might have been interfered with in the goal because he was not there for the save. In fact, he's just driven a bit too far forward here, and yes, he has driven into the post. Rimming a bit early here. Elikar, thanks for resubbing 5 months in a row, 10 total. Welcome back. Thanks also to Charles109 for the brand new Prime sub. We've got Jolt and RL with the brand new Prime as well. Appreciate all of you guys. Well, the OSM shooting has been outstanding. That's another perfectly hit shot, arcing just into the net as early as possible. But it's going to be 7-2. Nico and Archianus again, clinical in offense. Archianus bringing it down. Nico's made the offensive run. He knows there's a good chance the ball's coming his way. You guys want me to call him Archianus? Well, I'm the caster, I can call him whatever I want. This is crazy stuff to see. Look at that kickoff. Oh my goodness. Every single time they get it right. Doesn't matter if they spawn beside each other. Doesn't matter if they spawn in front. They still hit it. And FairJame and OSM have got no idea what to do. Even if you leave somebody back there, what's he supposed to do? Oh, there he goes. So FairJame went really high and he did get a touch on it. This is a adaptation they're going to have to make. And then the funny thing is, Archianus, there you go, you happy now? And Nico, they could just go for a fake kickoff and still have the outcome in their favour. Nethermorph, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the stream. 200 bits from Cheesy McSwiss. Cheers to that as well. Yeah, I'll ask these guys if they want to do a server swap halfway through. That's a great own goal there by the EU boys. Let me just ask them. Do you want a server swap halfway through? We'll keep it on this one for now. 9-2 though, in favour of Archianus and Nico there. Absolutely brutal game 1. Tabism, thanks for 13 months Prime. Really appreciate you, man. A little bit of a breather for FairJame and OSM on kickoff number 1. They'll be hoping for as many kickoffs as possible to be everybody spawning in the middle. They don't want to have to deal with these kickoff strats. Not come up with a reliable answer yet. after seeing it at least 4 or 5 times in the last game. They've escaped a kickoff goal early on. Let's see if Fairy Peak can do anything here. Nice early challenge by Nico. Fairy Peak and OSM to score from the other side of the field. Arqueanis with a whiff, and that's one of his misplays we've rarely seen so far. OSM punishes him for it. Clean backboard, rebound, combo, and he needed to avoid the rim on his takeoff there, so he's done well. OSM and Fairy in the lead. Okay, here comes Nico. Ooh, interesting. So, first of all, we had the complete fake kickoff by Fairy and OSM. They've decided there's no point in sending anybody to the ball because they're just going to be taken out of the game anyway. Let's just both sit back. And then we had the leave on the ball by Nico, who was popped into position. He decided, well, there's no point hitting this. So we'll just be straight at my opponents. Oh, dodgy defending by Arqueanis. He's in an awkward spot. OSM's double touch wide of the net, though. Nico's in the back wall. Fairy Peak can't get a threatening shot in. Fairy attempting to back pass, does not get the pass he was looking for. Nico low boost. Fairy Peak might try and run this up. It's a great spawn, in fact, by Arqueanis. OSM's flipped over the ball. Perfect matrix there. Now here comes Nico on the far side. He's over the ball. It's actually a save by Fairy Peak going underneath him. Not the best touch by Arqueanis. It's a chance for OSM again. That's 2 times in a row that OSM has punished Arqueanis for a dodgy hit. Fantastic shot by OSM. He really did well. Fairy Peak was there to make the goal a bit bigger, but he wasn't needed. Okay, let's see what Arqueanis and Nico decide to go for here. It's going to be another kickoff goal attempt. Yes, it does look like Fairy Peak and OSM will be trying to save the majority of these by just not sending anybody to kickoff. Just sitting in goal with 2 people. I'll tell you what, it's working well because Arqueanis and Nico haven't been able to transition that into lots of pressure like they did earlier on today. Look at that redirect by Fairy. Making life very difficult for Nico, who's arriving late. They've finally found a way to win this. Oh wow, OSM actually going for the kickoff from the diagonal, and he wasn't even too late to it. That is a further away spawn than all of the central spawns. Arqueanis not able to do too much here. It's a very quiet game number 2 has Arqueanis after a brilliant game 1. This is his first ever appearance on stream, so you'd expect it to be the other way around, maybe game 1 jitters, but it's actually been brilliant to start things off. But once Fairy Peak and OSM do get in front, they're going to be very difficult to come back against. 4-0, Fairy Peak just works it in around the corner and into the goal. Just 1-2 touches was all it needed. And mispositioning in goal again by Arqueanis and Nico. So this could be the downfall of the Hoops kickoff. The double goalie. Oh dear. Well, you could have used the double goalie here. OSM just clean whiff on an overhead aerial. He had to fly straight up in the air for this one after the crossbar. It's kind of dribbled him a little bit, but you'd expect him to make contact. Is that the counter? Double goalie. Any Hoops mains in chat? Any Hoops fans? Anybody watch Pro Hoops in here who can tell us what the counter is to the Hoops 2v2 kickoff? Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've not figured it out. I've not seen enough hard counters myself. You always send one person. Interesting. I mean, I imagine that would be the case because some of the shots that Arqueanis and Nico have been able to conjure from their bump kickoff strats have been pretty much unsavable. Even if you do have 2 goalies, they're still not going to be easy to stop. And the best shot there by Nico, too low. It will run right into the rim. Everything is just going either too high or too low for Arqueanis and Nico. OSM not able to catch this rebound at the back post. Looking for a bump in reverse. Arqueanis can't get his car to run into the ball here. He's falling apart here in game number 2. Him and Nico are both going to need to play their A game. Oh, that's a great save. Look at Nico keeping things alive, and now Arqueanis is awake. And they've still got a chance. Look at that save by Nico. Not only has he kept the ball at the net, but he started a counter-attack. And Arkeanis, straight off the inside of the rim, has brought them back to life. Now the bump kickoff is ready and waiting. It's a bit off to the right-hand side. They're sending somebody onto the back wall by looks of things. And there's somebody else into position further forward. Nico, a whiff that probably won't matter too much, but Arkeanis is trying to beat Fair in the air for speed. That's not going to be an easy task. A minute left in this game. Fairy Peak trying to make it 3 goals, and he will. 5-2 now. And it is going to be a really difficult comeback for Arkeanis and Nico again. You won Johnny Boy in 3s today. Well, you're one of the few people, because I was playing with some real life friends today. I think we won at least 80% of our games. We won like no points because they're both diamond. So you don't get much points when you're in, high champ playing with diamond players. But it was fun. Definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll tell you, the teams that actually are harder to play against in 3s are when you're playing like team 3s, it's harder to play against 3 randoms than it is to play against another team. Because other teams are always like predictable, I guess, but they're not. What do you call it? Yeah, they're like predictable. They're not as stupid maybe, but then random players, I would honestly just like call half the plays they do stupid. It's harder to predict what they're doing. Oh, look at that shot by Nico. And then Arkeanis trying to put together a last-minute comeback, last-second comeback even. Not going to be easy with the shooting quality that's coming out of Fairy Peak and OSM in game number 2 though. Everybody now getting their shots to just go perfectly over the rim. That's a really nice air roll by OSM. Why is everybody trying to convince me that I'm muted? I know I'm not muted, guys. Come on. Don't be ridiculous. Hey Drew, thanks for the 21 viewer host. Hope you had a good stream. This is like such an old meme. Like, if you want to convince people that they're muted, maybe like do it when they come back from being AFK or something. Because obviously, how would I just randomly be muted in the middle of a match? It's not like I have a hotkey that does that. Brilliant double touch by Arkeanis. But it's just going to be too little too late by the looks of things, unless kickoff goal comes in for Nico. He's going for it. He's trying to get that straight up and in off the ceiling. But Fairy Peak's got it under control. That's going to be 2 games to the EU squad. They have only won by a couple of goals, so not this 7-goal swing that Nico and Arkeanis were able to give us in game 1. But a pretty good start for the EU guys getting a comeback here. I think OSM. Oh, he's just going to ready up. He doesn't want a server swap, I guess. Feeling pretty confident after that one. Hey, thanks to Slick Mike for the 6-month tier 1. Welcome back. I mean, after how well OSM played in that last game, I imagine he will be pretty confident going into this next one. He's been destroyed in that kickoff, but here comes Fairy. He's going to hit his shot a bit too high. OSM in reverse has to try and right himself. He's managed to get another solo goal. Brilliant stuff by OSM. He managed to turn this into something that was actually functional. It looked like nothing good was coming from this. He ended up backwards, then sideways to the ball, but quick turn and into position he went. Nico in front of Arkeanis again. Low shot attempted, but it's just not going to work out. And after game 1, where all these bump kickoffs were causing problems, this hasn't had the same effect further on into the series. Good read there by Arkeanis. Didn't have a lot of boost, but he's in a position quickly. OSM still looking so threatening whenever he gets his hands on the ball. Very dangerous with his shooting. Maybe peek a bit out the game here, but they know they've got the boost advantage. Trying to press the issue. See if they can force any misplays out of Arkeanis and Nico. It's double commit by Fairy and OSM. Fairy Peak 30 boost in goal. And he will have a freebie. Let's collect. He's just been bumped into 100 boost by Arkeanis in the recovery. So pretty nice gift there by Arkeanis. That's a really good 50-50 by Fairy. He's protected the back wall well there. Did not want the ball bouncing across. Half volley wall clear from Nico. End-to-end stuff in game number 3. Arqueanis and Nico being at the wrong end of the scoreline for the time being. They can't get their shots and passes on target. Nico leaving Arqueanis all alone, but Arqueanis has done well. Now the pop pass comes in, but Nico's run out of boost halfway through. Aerial that would have probably been good enough. And OSM, another double touch save by Arqueanis. Still only a 1-goal game. The OSM and Fairy still in the lead. And they're still looking like the more threatening team, and it's Fairy Peak burying an OSM shot. I'll tell you what, it's OSM's trickery that's making this so difficult right now. That was obviously just going in from OSM. But that's the second goal that he's created this game. And both of them have happened as a result of OSM looking like he's out of position, but not actually being out of position at all. He's ready and waiting for the play to develop. And when it does, he makes the most of it. That's a great shot by Fairy. Look at how close it was to hitting the rim, but it has dropped in. Netflix, thanks for the Prime sub. Welcome to the stream, buddy. So it's 3 minutes left in game number 3. Arqueanis and Nico still struggling to get any sort of momentum going in their favour. The shots that they were impressing us all with in game number 1 are becoming a distant memory. But credit has to be given to Fairy Peak and to OSM for turning this one around so quickly. It would have been easy to get pretty sad and worried after seeing how poorly game number 1 went for them. But they have stayed with this one, and they've just relied on their mechanical ability and positioning to carry them through. Pinch clear by OSM. Arqueanis is flying ahead for this. It looks like Fairy Peak might have brought Nico in accidentally. Not much boost here for Nico. He's going to dodge this one on target, and that's a great goal. The first goal for Nico and Arqueanis, the Hoops mains. And Nico with 30 boost, just had enough. Dodges it off the wall, and OSM is out of position in the middle of the goal. Maybe need to drop off my Prime. Great content, man. Hey, thanks for coming by and dropping off your Prime. I really appreciate that. That might be a goal. Oh, I've got a feeling Nico just missed a double touch. OSM with a pre-jump off the ceiling. He comes for the challenge. He has left Fairy a bit alone at the back though, and Nico is almost able to connect with a rebound off the corner wall. OSM also struggling to read that corner wall. Nico's starting to cause problems for Fairy and for OSM. Just needs Arqueanis to come forward and help him out here. It has been quiet Arqueanis compared to what we saw earlier. Now there is a better shot creation. Arqueanis is starting to play with a bit more speed, a bit more confidence. Is there enough time for 2 goals to be created? Fairy Peak and OSM are doing such a good job of holding on, and it's another rim for Arqueanis. Nico comes in for an attempt, and he's blocked by Fairy Peak. It's going to be very difficult to get 2 goals set up here, far less scored. Just a minute left. OSM plays it away from Nico. It's a really good touch. He knew that that was a dangerous place to be leaving the ball. Another goal for Fairy, and OSM might do it here. OSM almost connecting with Fairy's pass with a pre-jump. Again, is looking for another early read. Just missing the front of the net with a rebound shot. Fairy Peak across the goal. Nico and Arqueanis keep it clear again. It's not going to stay clear for long though. OSM puts it in.
Pentathlon variants in the future.
Ah, that would be pretty interesting actually. Cheers for the 3 quid or not. Yeah, that would be very interesting to see, in fact. And also thanks Jordan for the 8 quid. I forgot to say thanks for that. You did say you're watching YouTube all the time. Well, cheers for swinging by Twitch. I do appreciate it a lot, man. 4-1. Arqueanis and Nico are a bit of a pickle here. They're the team who have got to make changes, and the changes that they have to make are pretty straightforward. They need to hit their shots, and they need to stop getting beaten to the ball. Well, Fairy Peak with a huge dunk there. This made things even harder for them. At least we get to see another attempt for the bump kickoff. Let's see what Nico could do this time. Shot into the back wall. Fairy Peak there and waiting for it. The only way that the shots are going to go directly into the net, as if you can stick it in without hitting the back wall on the way, by the looks of things. Fairy Peak is the GOAT. He may well be one day. I mean, right now I think in Rocket
Fairy
League
Peak is the GOAT.
it has to be K-Dop, right? I think K-Dop just has to be the GOAT at the moment, but in the future, who knows? It could be Fairy Peak. Winklemeyer, thanks for the 2-month Twitch Prime. Really appreciate that. Another goal for OSM and Fairy to keep things just going even more into their favor towards the business end of this series. 2-1 now. They are looking in control against two of the best hoops players in the world. Really fascinating to see the adaptation of Fairy Peak and OSM. Similar to Torment and Lethammer, actually, when they tried to take down the hoops mains. Very similar. But more successful as well. Fairy is the ones GOAT. Yeah, it's either Fairy or Scrub. I mean, Scrub won both 12 Titans. He was a contender for best player in the world long before Fairy was. Like maybe a whole year. Scrub was contender for best player in the world before Fairy came into the scene. So you're talking greatest of all time. You have to consider the period of time where Scrub was not just significantly better than Fairy, but Fairy wasn't even a known quantity. So yeah, Scrub, that you combine that with his 2 12 Titans wins and his Manfield Night 5k win, 2 of those being wins against Fairy, definitely helping swing it in his favor a little bit. I'd say it's either one of those two. You can pick it either way, depending on what you want to focus on most. If you want to focus on current results or recent results, yes, you'd have to give it to Fairy Peak. But if you want to focus on historical results and also on tournaments like prize money won, then you got to go Scrub Killer. But they're miles ahead of anybody else, I would say, historically in ones. Scrub fell off one so hard. I mean, true. Yeah, true. Right now, Scrub probably isn't. Is he a top 10 ones player? Maybe. I think if he practiced for a couple of days, great save by Nico. If he practiced for a couple of days, he would be a top 10 ones player again. But I definitely right now put like you know, Fairy, Ixo, Flakes, all ahead of him. And probably maybe a couple of EU players as well. No, yeah, probably still put Scrub in a top 10. Probably. I'd probably put Oslan ahead of him right now. Don't know. I'd have to come and like really think about a list there, see if he is. Yeah, he's probably still top 10 ones, even though he doesn't play it. Just because he's so good at it, so naturally gifted, and he's just so much game time in the mode. So no goals yet. 2 minutes into game number 4, a must-win game for the Hoops mains. Nico's putting himself in an awkward spot here, but he handles it pretty well. Archiantis, who was looking so good in offense earlier in the series, needs to pop off Nico with a miss on a rebound. Or just an aerial, I should say. Now Nico with a back wall whiff. It's OSM and Fairy look like the more consistent of the two teams. A lot of touches are going very, very differently from what Nico and Archiantis are planning. That's a wicked redirect by OSM, but it is wide. And Nico gets a demo on OSM, but Archiantis is backed away. Fairy Peak trying to air dribble this one in. He's missed the target, so that takes the bump out of the equation. But he will threaten one on Nico on his recovery. Big wall clear by OSM. We're 3 minutes into the game now. Still no goals. It's positional play. Nobody wants to be the first to concede. OSM with a read straight away after popping the ball into the sidewall. He's up for it. Didn't even see which way it went. Fairy Peak. So a minute and 40 left. Trying a solo play of his own. It's mostly solo plays in hoops, of course. Such a small pitch. Difficult to make passing plays happen without leaving yourself wide open for counter-attacks and interceptions. Fairy Peak, not much boost. Gets his shot straight into the rim. Archiantis is just flowing past the ball, and out OSM's got some free space. He can't scoop it up and over. Fairy Peak puts it past 1, puts it past 2. Oh, and he's actually put it past 3. Took it past OSM as well. That's careless by Fairy. He did so well to get it past both Nico and Arkeanis. But then he also got a bit excited and knocked it away from OSM as well. And oh dear, where has Fairy Peak gone? Well, he's saved this one somehow, and he's going to keep that one clear danger as well, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Look at the passing play from Nico and Arkeanis. And what just happened? Fairy Peak, he's just nowhere to be seen there in defense. That left a clean shot for Nico and Arkeanis. They did have an opening. It's a good read by Nico. Ball chase pretty safe there, knowing that Fairy Peak, if he did have any boost at all, would not have had too much. Nobody able to read that bounce. Fairy Peak tries to take it up the back wall again. Synergy has just gone completely wrong for Fairy and OSM in this last game towards the end of it. And they were just looking routine and threatening at times up until the point where it all went wrong, where they ran into each other. And they're just 15 seconds away from losing game number 4. Fairy Peak trying to read a down bounce, but it's gone straight into Arkeanis, who went into the halfway line. 5 seconds left now for OSM and Fairy, and they're in each other's way again. Can OSM keep it up? He can't, and that'll be game 1-0. Such an interesting 1-0 at that. There was, you know, all the signs of a Fairy Peak OSM win. Absolutely everything pointed at them coming out on top here. The game being so slow, no kickoffs at all for Nico and Arkeanis to abuse. Yes, it is 2-2. Corrupted G asked for who's your top 3 in NA. What for 1v1? Gonna switch servers. Well, I asked OSM if he wanted to switch halfway through, but then after game 2 he just readied up. So I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't want to. Top 3 for NA 1v1 would probably right now be First Killer, Calm, and then one more. Who would I want to pick? I mean, if Lion Blaze keeps up his current form, it could be him. Yeah, that's a question mark. Yeah, Mektos is also in the discussion. Lethamir, if he's focused, is probably still top 3. If Lethamir just, you know, played 1v1 for a day, I think he'd be top 3 again, because he's the best 1v1 player in America historically. Well, let's see who can come out on top of the Hoops mains and Fairy and OSM. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's not started off well for the latter. Once again, it's just all gone wrong. OSM flying straight into the rim after driving too far out of his goal. And they're down already, and it might be about to get worse with a kickoff coming their way. Great save by OSM. Fairy Peak going to try and follow it on. And oh dear, that's almost on target. It is, I think, on target, but Arkeanis sends it back. OSM still threatening. Arkeanis in the midfield. Up quick enough to panic Fairy Peak, but didn't make contact. Can I notice you before you go to sleep? Well, off you go, Wickerman Willow. Don't stay up just in hopes that a streamer will notice your name. Go get that beauty sleep. Oh dear, it has just gone completely wrong for OSM in game number 5 here. And Nico and Arkeanis are starting to look more threatening with the kickoffs. That was close. And this is, you know, showing you why you really have to send someone to the kickoff. If that shot gets hit properly, it's going to be unstoppable. There's no way you can react to that one. But they're trying because they don't know how to do the kickoff themselves. It's probably the best, like, instant fix that you can do. If you don't know the Hoops bump kickoff, you have to just leave people in goal and hope for the best. Fairy Peak deciding whether or not to go after this. Arkeanis accidentally fakes him. Lots of passing plays coming out of Fairy. OSM with a air roll shot clips the outside of the rim. 2-0 for the Hoops mains. Can they keep up their streak, or can they start a streak, I guess, because they've only ever played one match on stream and they won it. Nico was involved there, along with Wolf, another Hoops beast. But they're looking to get a second win. It's a nervous game 5 from both teams. Nobody wasting any time going forward for the ball as OSM tries to pinch it. Just bounces off the ball more. Looks like the ball pinched him. Yeah, they have names for the bump kickoffs. One of them is called the Friendship, or one of them is called the Fusion. I don't know which one was which. To me, it would make more sense if the one where you spawn beside each other is the Fusion kickoff. But I can't remember which is which, so I'm just not doing it. 2-1 now. OSM gets
When I
Self
say
and
Fairy
Fairy
is
on the
the
score
GOAT, I
sheet.
don't mean most loved per se, I mean that I would
Most
call
successful
Fairy
per
peak.
se.
At his best, the favorite to win against anyone else at their
Ah.
best the vast majority of the time, even Scrub, but Flex and Scrub at their best are probably the closest.
Interesting. You think Fairy Peak at his best can beat anyone? See, that's an interesting discussion, because we've probably seen peak performances. Haha, Fairy Peak, get it. But we've probably seen, like, you know, individual performances. Oh, what a save by Nico. Double touch by OSM is on target. Anyway, like I was saying, we've probably seen individual performances from the likes of Devo that have, you know, looked more perfect and more unstoppable in the past. You know, for their time. Com is sort of the player these days that's looking the most like that. Oh, what a dunk by Nico. 3-1 to the Hoops mains. RankedHoops.gg are going to love that one. OSM gets shut down. It's a 2-goal gap again. KSA versus Commandorius. Well, Commandorius are different regions, of course, but they are not from the same country. But we're not going to have any KSA 2v2s for a while, because Ahmad is on holiday for a month. He's on vacation for a month. So we'll probably be seeing more of him in August. But yeah, maybe we'll get O'Callaghan on for a ones match. That's a brilliant save by Fairy. Had an awkward flight path for it, but he's done well. Now pressure coming in for Fairy and OSM. Looks like the ball might just be a bit too high. Cantis and Nico want this win so badly. They're hanging on. They look quite comfortable. That's some interesting positioning there by Nico. You'll notice he's actually just pointing his car straight up the wall. It's a position that's most ready to defend those back wall bounces. Fairy Peak setting himself up off the wall. He's not quite quick enough to get it past to Nico, who is ready. More A-roll shots for OSM, but unlike the ones that he was banging in game number 2 and 3, this one is off target. 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Fairy Peak up high to OSM, who's tried to redirect it, but it's off target. It was a tough angle change. OSM is going to get blocked by Arkeanis as he looks for another counter. Fairy Peak can't get his double touch. It's just 1 minute and a few seconds left for Fairy Peak and OSM. If they want to come back in game 5 and win this series, I do want to say the series has not gone how I expected it. I thought that if at any point Fairy and OSM won a game, it would probably just go to them. I thought that they were the team with the most reverse sweep potential, the most comeback potential, because they're probably going to be learning the game mode as they go, and going to be learning how to counter the crazy plays of their opponents. Speaking of crazy, Fairy Peak pre-jump to OSM's little pop pass, but it's gone a little bit too far behind him. 30 seconds left now. Nico and Arkeanis are holding on. Their defense has looked better this game than it has in other ones. Arkeanis with a speedy recovery there after a Fields backflip. A necessary one as well. Nico pops it over the blue goal. This is not where OSM and Fairy Peak need the ball to be. They have to get it away. They have to get it away right now. It's in the final 10. Can they get a goal? They're not likely to get a kickoff goal very quickly. Should they get a goal here? I just don't think there's enough time. It's just shut down from Arkeanis, and that'll be the series win. Maybe on an own goal, not quite, but what a confirmation. Brilliantly done by Arkeanis and Nico. In the closest 2 games of the series, they've come out on top. Games 4 and 5, they come back from behind after losing pretty badly. I think it was 6-4, 6-1 in games 2 and 3, but they got the job done. Well done. Great representation for the Hoops community once again against absolute monsters, Fairy Peak and OSM. But yeah, cheers for Candice for that comment, and for the 1,000 bits as well. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it is an interesting discussion. Who at their absolute best would be the best? Because, you know, I think for Fairy, part of the thing that makes him so like good is not that he has ridiculous peaks. You know, he's not gonna have like some series where he's, you know, scoring some just over and over again unstoppable shots. He's just really consistent and really, really, really smart. Whereas, like in the Manfield Night 5K final, Scrub had a game where he absolutely popped off and just annihilated Fairy Peak. Does Fairy Peak beat that version of Scrub Killer? I actually don't know if he does. Interesting discussion though.